Greetings, goons, gangsters, and gamers. It's your boy, the Good Sir Knight, and it is always good to be back. I just ran 4 miles. Not all of it was running. I was sick, and a whole ordeal, and I'm like, I gotta run again. Wow, running sucks. But you gotta do it. It's worth the cardio. So today we're doing a review on something I had some free time to test out. The Kommando Store's own original 84 placard, I believe it's called, and it's styled after the P83. They started their own sort of 84 brand of like new made. It's in M81 Woodland, God's Plaid, and there's a lot of design choices and stuff they did that I thought was really neato. So we're going to talk about that here for a minute. Before we get too far into the video, I do want to thank the video's, well, not sponsors, but Patreons. I do have a Patreon, and particularly two, Dark Magic 96 and the Weepy Lamb. The 2 people on there and their contributions were ultimately what led the way to be able to pick up this placard and test it out. So many thanks to all of you. So I'm not new to the concept of placards. Previous I used the Spiritus Systems. I think it was the Mark III. It was a long time ago. And the Mark III, it had 2 slots, one in the front, one in the back, so you could put little flaps over there. You can put 2 inserts and hold 6 mags, which I thought the 6 mags was nice, but it was divided. Elastic retention inserts, not bad. And if they got worn out, you could just put a new one, pop, pop, easy peasy. Simple design, I liked it, it was fine, but I wasn't too big on it. Then I found the Haley Strategic D3CRM, and I picked up one of those. 3 active retention mags in the back, with their cool little indexing thing. And yeah, then you had a little clamshell for GPS and stuff. So very low profile, more getting into the funky force and stuff, fewer snag components. But again, similar problem. This one had 3 mags. There was no potential to hold 6 mags with it, which is ultimately pretty unfortunate. So I eventually gave up on the micro chest rig sort of concept. And when I picked up my AVS, I was like, hey, Crye Precision makes this cool 3 mag freaking well, I guess it's not a placard, it's kind of like a cover bun holder front of the plate carrier. It's low profile, it's slender, it's out of the way, but you run into a problem. I mean, it's very nice, you don't have to worry about any of these cover bun clips or nothing, but it holds 3 mags. 1, 2, 3. That is not a very large fighting load. So with that in mind, I went out of my way to go through all myriads of different cover bun solutions so that I can mount on the Crye double little mag pouches, and these just fit nicely on here. But I honestly don't like things way up on my cover bun. Maybe a radio, and even that's kind of pushing it. I want everything I need immediately up front, and nothing really on the sides. I want to be able to reach down to my belt line, my gun belt, and get all my extra mags and stuff off of there. So I had a kind of a ammo conundrum, because if you burn through these 3 mags, you got to resupply and do all that, unless you want to have like more mags in your backpack or whatever. However, this sort of solves this problem, as we'll be talking about here. So I did order the 84, and I thought it was really cool. But I didn't actually plan out the I didn't plan out the clips very well, so they use the Nexus buckles. And this is actually from AXL Advanced, the guys who make everything to Gucciify all of your plate carriers and goods. So this one's got the whole Tigress backing. It's underneath the flap up here, and that stiffens these and makes them very close to the chest. Very nice. As opposed to the original solution I had, which was to take the general split tack ones, just mount those in there, and it was all sorts of floppy. It was bad. So if you want to run a placard on an AVS, it's worth the investment to get the nice setup. So let's get into this. Before I mount it up, I want to cover the main features. So you got 3 flaps. These are, unlike the 83, these are actually tapered, and they do have a similar plastic insert, so it's easy to get the front of the flap and get access to the inside. They are also decently wide, as I'm going to show you momentarily. Backing is simple. They actually gave you access to the tab, so you could remove these buckles. I could swap these out with black, from black, and make them into brown or green or whatever color of my choice. But I'm not going to do that because I think the black and tan aesthetic goes really old school, like Gen 1, early OEF sort of goodness. And that's pretty cool. And you get just the right height with the Velcro back there. It's very neato Velcro. And yeah, then you got the, similar to the Haley Strategic D3CRM, you do have the mounts on the sides instead of the pocket flares from the Classic. And these are also flapped. And I love my flaps. Flaps on my mag pouches. There's a place down the street called Flap Coffee. Fantastic. So flaps are great. I like my flaps. Easy, secure Velcro. There was a bit of a, I guess you'd call it a boomerism that people used to buy into. They're like, I don't want Velcro on my gear because if I need to reload, that whole freaking is going to give away my position. I'm sitting there. I remember exactly when I heard this. I don't remember exactly what the boomer, who the boomer was. But I heard this and I was like, if you're reloading even a suppressed weapon, that's a lot of noise. They probably know where you are because you just sent 30, potentially 31 rounds of hate in their general direction, and you've gone dry, so now you need to reload. And I don't know, but a very loud bang 30 times is probably a lot louder than... So, you know. Oh, man, so... Anyway, I got this set up. I do like the pouches on the side are nice. You can put your multi-tools, spare sidearm mags in there in case you're running a sidearm with your chest rig. What we're going to do is we're going to clip this guy in. This is what I liked about placards that I moved away from, is that you can swap them out with other placards, or you can make your plate carrier slick if you're like doing exercise, especially if you're not on base. If you're out in town, people don't like you running around with magazines for some reason. You give that a little press down, and voila, we have our big old chest rig. Now there's pros and cons to this, as with all things. It is larger and you need to have the buckles to mount it. But, B-U-T-T, but, let me get into the fine details here with you. So, here I have 2 M4 mags, which is great. So this gives us an easy combat load of 6, 7 on the belt, 8 in the gun. Bam, fantastic. I got all the fighting mags I need. However, if you were planning to do a lot of shooting, like my god, you're just terrified of running out of ammo, I have a 3rd mag that you can stuff in there. And it gives you basically a tactical beer gut. There's no other way to put it. You're becoming far less high speed and get a little bit more on the drag side. But you can do that for all 3 of the built-in pouches. There's actually one point I bought, what was it? Was it the Warrior Systems out of Yield, Britain? They had a 3-mag placard. I mounted it to the Molly version of the flap, and it didn't work so well. It needed to be able to adjust the right height, and it also was just all over the place. This is a phenomenal solution. So you can mount, here, I'll count them for you. I'll show you some magic. And you got, come on. Sorry, I got the hockey tape that sticks them together. I need to undo that. You got 1 magazine, 2 magazine, 3 magazine. There's your entire micro chest rig fighting load in a single pouch. Now that's a little excessive, as you might say. 2 is good, but so the big thing is if you got all this stuff up on the front, it makes it a pain to go prone. If you're in a lot of trouble, you can sort of like ditch it and carry it in a free hand so you can get closer to the deck. 2's not bad, but if you only put 1 in there, here's the thing, if you only put 1 magazine in your magazine pouch, then you're right back to square one. Yes, you don't have a lot of ammo, but you got that lower profile sort of squared away setup that makes it easier to get close to the deck, more high speed, low drag. You can add the magazines later. Now, what I really like about this is that it doesn't just hold magazines. So at the other pouch, you get 1 M4 mag. My phone doesn't even fit in there. Unfortunately, I got a bigger phone. You have 1 M4 mag, And once you take that mag out, it's just an empty slot for another M4 mag. Here, I've got my M4 mags in the center right now, yeah? 5.56, and pop open this guy on the side. And we have a Death Water drink. The whole can fits nicely in there. And not just the short cans, you can fit tall cans. Like the short can comes up to there. We still have all this material to put a tall can. We could get the big boys in there. I'm gonna put that aside for right now. We're not gonna need that. And if you're really big on subguns, if you're not all about the pew 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 fighting, and you're more about doing medical stuff, you can get an MP5. You can grab an easy MP5, and you can load up to 6 mags in a single cell. I'm not gonna do it. I did it earlier. But here I've got 4 magazines. So we got MP5. We're going click. Drop the mag. Grab new mag. Dink. The Velcro sort of just grabs on its own. You don't need to like, new mag. Click. Ka-chink. Drop mag. Preferably in dumb pouch. They ain't cheap. Whoop. New mag. And you get that little poop. It doesn't need to be pressed. You just let it drop and it'll sort of reassemble itself. New mag, repeat, new mag. When you got 1 mag left, it's a little wobbly. It can go all over, but as long as you got the top part down on it. The last one I would press on. You got your last mag. Boom. So there's your 4 mags. This is what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 120 rounds in a single pouch. Which is cool. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. So, you got our 2 mags in here. Now, what else can we do? Well, MP5 mags. Let's do MP5 mags side by side is practically like 1 M4 mag anyway. But let's grab AK-47, the awkward mag that's always a pain in the booty to carry. And then we got the fancier, more modern mag. If I pop this open, I can fit them brass to the sky. And they do fit a little funky. They are poking out a bit, but they are ultimately quite secure. Then you're going, you got ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Oh no. Fling out mag. Grab new mag that sticks to old mag because these mags are funky. Wonder if they're better if I put them. Let me flip these upside down. I want to try something. We're doing science, chat. Yeah, so we'll put them brass to the ground. Flop that up. Bink. There you go. Flip out that old mag, new mag, cha-chunk, or cha-chunk if you want to be really cool. There we go. Yeah. Toss out that mag. Now we got 1 mag in here. And it's, they're always going to sit high. AK mags always sit pretty high, so that's another reason to have it. I've got this flush with the base of the Velcro on the bottom, just to sort of give me extra room in case I do run AK mags. Which I probably won't, but I could. And that's the key word here. Capability. We're able to carry so many different things instead of just M4 mags. Of course, we go grab the M4 mag. Boop, get it free, and then the other ones are in there. But like I said, you can carry 3 drinks of your choice, which will probably get you yelled at when you need to reload and you're just like, ka-chik. You could carry MP5 mags and SMG mags, which has the added benefit of giving you a decent fighting load in a single cell, which gives you 2 other cells, so you can put one of those med kits in here, or you can slap in a radio. Actually, where'd I put my radio? I just grabbed a radio a second ago specifically so I can put it on camera. And as usual, in this tiny room, it has still managed to vanish. I'm just gonna grab this guy. This guy's readily available. We grab our Motorola. Normally I'd mount this in here, and it would sit at a funky angle and my arm would hit it. So I'd mount it on this side, it'd sit at a funky angle and my arm would hit it. I should just mount it on my back somewhere or in a backpack or something, but now I could just set you right there and run my PTT up to here, and bam, my radio thing is solved. Which means, I'm going to bang the radio every time I hit the deck, but I reinstall this guy here, and I put my 2 mags in here instead of up here. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Back to a full fighting load. You can technically cap out at 6, but extra mags. Your first contact, you're going to establish fire superiority, so you got to drop those 30 rounds. That's giving the machine gun time to get in position. But that's a conversation for another time. This gives you capability. I got my radio, and if I don't like my radio here, I can put my radio over here, so I can have the cable cut across. And I also got room in the back here, so I might get one of those burrito pouches, or I can mount a pointy stick of my choice. I got options. And that's really the cool thing about this. So I've talked a lot about the M4 pouches. Let's talk about the side pouches. So obviously multi-tools. Multi-tools, you always want to have one. And most importantly, you can do this. I thought this was pretty cool. You put a MP5 mag in each side, because they fit, even though you can't get the flaps on them unless they're like shorts. But you put them up there, you face them forward, like so, and you've got a bull rush, but it's on your belly instead of up here. Is it cool? Not really. Is it something you can do? Yes! It's not bright. It's not terribly important, but you can also whip out your 2 MP5 mags, and if you don't have an MP5, these go, and there you go. You're safe. CQB, CQC. Yeah. But yeah, if you can fit 6 mags per 6, 12, 18, that's a lot of MP5 mags, which is going to make this very heavy. And of course, heavy is not necessarily great. You don't want to be too heavy, either in your body composition or in your gear. So you could put I'll put 6 mags in here, or 4 mags radio and then another 2. Yeah, that's 6. But I was going somewhere with this. Yeah, so the reason you could put 9 mags in here, right? That's the key thing. 9, 10, 11. That's a lot of mags. That's a lot of weight. Why would you want to do that? Because for me, when you got a big old, well, the backpack's fine, but when you got like an assault panel or something, especially if you got the big bolt cutters, you've got all that extra kit in your back, what happens is the weight pulls back. The harness helps mitigate it a lot, admittedly, but all that weight is pulling back and your plate carrier is being pulled up here. So you put 9 mags instead of 6, that's 9 pounds pulling down this way, which is going to help counterbalance your bolt cutters and everything anyway. Generally, firefight or so, you burn through a couple mags, now it gets lighter, it starts going up, but you get to your destination, ka-chink! And yeah, now you've sort of like counterbalanced your weight. Good. Nice. And if you're not carrying a whole lot, then you could do 3. If you're not expecting a whole lot of firefights, 3 mags in here. If you're expecting a bit more of a patrol and stuff, then 6. And if you're going and you're like, hey, yeah, there's like 40 bad guys in this little city and we need to make that 0 bad guys, then you can bring 9, because you're probably going to have a nice little plan of attack and pop, pop, pop. And if you're mobile, or not mobile, mechanized, then you got jeeps and vehicles and stuff to make your load a little bit easier to carry. You don't got to get exhausted getting to the point to get to the point to get to the point. And that's really all that matters. So let me just I'm gonna slide these other mags in here real quick. Cause I got 2 more here. That's good, right? Facing. I want these facing right. Right? Yeah, facing right. So otherwise I gotta pull them from here, so we make them face this way. And that's an easy bop 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 bop. Although we should have a fast mag here anyway, so that's less of a problem. Then I did set up oh, there it is. Yeah, big brain, big brain. So yeah, these on the sides you can put multi-tool sidearm mags and anything, actually kazoo. Yeah, so you're going, nothing's going on. They're like, okay, everyone, radio silence to the objective. Roger. And you get slapped upside the back of the head, because obviously. But you can fit a kazoo and a flashlight and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's neato, burrito, and I like it a lot. Bullet free. And of course, I didn't even mention it, but you can run this as a micro chest rig, obviously, because why wouldn't you be able to? It's a placard. You could run almost any placard as a micro chest rig. You take this, you grab your, there it is. Yar. You grab your classic delete key, which comes in M81 as well. Very, very sexy. You slap that on the back. Then you go, You grab these guys and a harness of your choice. You mount these into the side flaps over here, where you can also put your pens or whatever cool thing you want to fit through those. They're on each side, so obviously for your waist strap, and then to mount to the shoulder parts of your H harness or X harness if you're weird. H harness is better objectively in every way, shape, and form. And yeah, there you have it. So what I like being able to just pop this free with all the extra weight. And bam, now you're nice and slick. Yeah, nice, easy, clean setup. And that's pretty much the whole video. And of course I got M81 yen writing on my old school Crye freaking airframe. That's it. Yeah, so that's pretty much the cool loadout we got right now. Of course, you still got access to your bam Faro Concepts dangler. Psh, cash money. So that's the review. Hopefully that's been interesting if you guys are looking. If you guys are also sort of burned out on micro chest rigs like I was previously, this is it. This is all the magazines I need. I get to free up my side so I don't have all that gunk here, which means if I need to ditch my plate carrier in an amphibious manner, obviously we go, water, do cross legs, bam, we'll jam that up there, there we go. Hit the water, guard your chin, and you're like, oh no, this gear's heavy. I'm not a hell diver. I can escape. You pop your helmet free, that's gonna go floating, or whatever the helmet does. It's not my problem after that point. There you go, you grab these sides here, pull away and down, grab these parts, yeah, you just gotta get one of them really. And, pop that free. Oh! It's fine. It knocked over a weight. There you go, you just pop your plate carrier free, and you are free. So it's still quite amphibiously capable. My AC's on, I'm still sweating. Plate carriers, am I right? So that's all I got for you guys. If you got any questions or things you want to know a little bit more about, there is the elastic bungees in there to help keep the mags tight. They do run underneath the elastic. And there is a little bit of a gap here where the elastic goes in, so you can connect to the back. Can't really put anything cool in there, but it's the thought that counts. Shabam. So that's all I got for you guys today. Yeah, it's designed for hard use. If you drop your plate carrier on the soft carpet and it gets damaged, that's not great. That's in good shape though, I like that. So that's all I got for you guys. If you have any cool insights or anything you're curious about, I can easily recommend these. And these are berry compliant. It's not berry, like blueberry. So they're made in the US with US material, which is always cool and always something I will be a huge fan of. So that's the whole video. I think these are fantastic and I would highly recommend them to anyone and everyone. More so than this. I mean, if you're a big fan of Spiritus, then by all means, but I like the capabilities, I like the flaps, I like everything about this. So I'm going to be running this for the foreseeable future until it breaks or I find something better. Cheers everyone, stay chivalrous, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.